you ready to make technology work for you? Tune in to Act on Tech, the podcast where we break down the latest tech trends and show you how to boost your productivity at home and in your business. So, subscribe to Act on Tech today and visit alexcustomtech.com to see how we can take your business to the next level. That's Act on Tech, your guide to smarter tech for a smarter business. Alex Custom Tech, IT means integrity and trust.
Hello, welcome to Act on Tech, where we talk all things technology. Of course, you know I'm Alex of Alex Custom Tech, and this is part 2 of cutting the card, if you will. So I don't want to make this a series, but there was more things that I wanted to cover, but I didn't want to overwhelm you guys talking about streaming. And I gave you a little synopsis of streaming services and what options you have out there, how to navigate it. But now we're going to take it into a different direction. So we're talking about what cutting the card was. So last time we explored streaming services. Today we're going to look at old school with modern twists. So I said old school with a modern twist because over-the-ear television or over-the-ear TV, yes, over-the-ear TV still is around. And I say this because people, like, I remember saying to someone at work, I'm like, you can still get over-the-ear television, and he frowned upon me like, oh, that's old school, but I don't understand the reluctance to over-the-ear television. But let's talk about it a little bit. Let me tell you what's going on with it and what's available and how they've made a lot of changes. So yes, you can still get dozens of channels free with the right antenna and setup. Let's break down how it works and why it's worth adding to the cutting the card plan. Right? So you can add this to the plan, which is what I'm doing right now in my house. Okay? Because I'm coming across some problems. Right? So most people think free broadcast TV disappeared. Right? I told you that before. With rabbit ears and that kind of stuff. But in reality, digital over-the-ear TV, over-the-ear OTA, the abbreviation, broadcasting is still alive and well. Right? Local stations now transmit high-definition signal you can pick up with a simple antenna. No subscription needed, no fees. Whether you want local news, live sports, or classic movies, OTA TV is a great backup to streaming and the essential pieces of completing your card cutting. So let's talk about that. We can just eliminate the streaming thing altogether. Don't even do that. Just get a decent antenna put on top of your house. Make sure it's secure, and you can go to town, right? You can just get your local channels. You have to worry about all the other weird stuff, and you can get your local channel. But again, it's if you kind of like that simplicity. I think over-the-ear television give you like local news, of course, and your affiliate channels like your NBC, ABC. We're going to talk about that later. But also, right, you have something to watch. There's a bunch of old television shows on there, old TV shows. That's all that stuff is on there, right? So if you like a simple life like I do, and I think people out there are like that. I don't think I'm the only one that's like the simplicity and have a minimalistic worldview, right? This is the way to go. You don't have to really pay for any streaming service. But here's the beautiful thing: if you wanted to pick one or two streaming service, you can do that with combining this. So you can have maybe your Netflix or maybe your Paramount Plus and your antenna. And I'm gonna talk about that a little bit, how you can actually put them all together. So how over-the-ear TV works. Let's talk about that. Local broadcasters transmit digital signal ATSC standard. That's the standard. That's the abbreviation for the standard that they use. ATSC standard. A simple antenna pulls those signal into your television or a digital tuner box. So your TV pick it up right off the bat, like it used to do back in the day. Depends on your age. When I used to watch television, that's how we used to get it. Buy a TV, you get the rabbit ears, and the signal goes over the air and you pick it up that way. Some people have like an antenna on top of their house, which boosts the signal and you get more channels, right? But that's the standard. No internet requires. Perfect for let me see. Perfect for power or ISP outage. So when we talk about perfect for power or ISP outage, it's like if you don't have any internet, you have nothing at all, right? That's how everything is connected to the internet. Everything we do now is connected to the internet. But with the over-the-air television, you don't need the internet. As long as you have a battery television, these are the small ones, or something like that, you can still pick up the local channels and find out what's going on. Okay, so what can you watch on over-the-air TV for free? Major networks: ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and PBS. Guaranteed, right? Sub-channels with retro shows, weather, and movies are MeTV, ION, COZI TV, the cozy, right? Local news and emergency alerts, what I talk about, is kind of one of the most important things to really get it. And you can get from streaming apps too. So you can combine it, all right? So the gear you need, what you need to make this happen, all right? So indoor antenna, flat panel type, so they can go to Walmart and you can see these little antennas there for apartments or close to broadcast towers. So if you live close to a broadcast tower, you can look up where the broadcast tower is in conjunction to where you are. You can get one of those indoors antenna. Outdoor antenna is what I'm trying to get. Best for rural or fringe area, mountains. You can mount it on top of your house and point towards the direction where the tower is. Right? Digital tuner or ATSC is a box that can tune into the signal that these broadcast towers are sending out. Built into most modern television, of course. It's built into most modern television, but there's a little bit of a caveat to that. And are available as a set-top box. So you can buy just the box alone that picks up the ATSC signal. All right, now digital DVRs like Tablo, TABLO, or HD Home Run. I'm gonna stop at HD Home Run for a second to record and stream your OTA channel around your house. So here's what I like about. I don't know too much about Tablo, but I'm telling you about HD Home Run. I have HD Home Run here in my house, and for the longest time it worked pretty perfectly. Now, how I used it is I like to do everything on the network, my local era network, my network in my house. And everybody was already into streaming or watching streaming at the time. And I wanted to still keep the TV guide set up to watch the channels. Now, I never had an antenna. I never had an antenna in this house, but we had the local cable service, local cable television, right? So what we did, I got a HD Home Run, but the one that takes the cable card. So back in the day, not too long ago, like a couple of years ago, they had to give you the option to get a cable card to get the box from the ISP, or you have to give you the card so you can use the card in your own device. I opted to use the card in my own device, and the device I chose was the HD Home Run. What was good about the HD Home Run was that I could pop the card in there, and then I would have 3 tuners that any television in my house can pick up and tune into channels. So how I did it was I had the HD Home Run along with my server, my Plex server, combine those two things together, and then they would just have one app on the Roku devices or any smart TV that have the Plex They will go to Plex and they can go to live TV, or they can watch anything that's in my library, and that's how I used to do it. Right? It worked perfectly. Right now, they don't offer the cable card anymore because the government felt like, well, there's enough services and enough options for people to choose. They're not locked into just the one service from the ISP. But the beautiful thing about HD Home Run is they also have a tuner that can connect to your antenna and then does the same thing in your network, where I could still have the Plex server that I have. That's my go-to. That's my main TV watching thing. Plex server, connect the tuner to my Plex server, and then I can have live TV from over the ear, from broadcast towers. So that's why I want to stop and point out that device as a good device. Now again, Tablo I think does kind of the same thing, but I haven't really looked into that because I'm so attached to Plex and HD Home Run, so that's kind of my go-to. But you can look into Tablo, say Tablo does that, right? Now, setup tips. Check signal strength and tower location on sites like antennaweb.org. You can go there, or tvfool.com. Those will tell you where your tower is located in compared to where you live, how far, where you gotta point your antenna, so on. Rescan your channel whenever you move the antenna or after major weather changes. Okay. Combine OTA TV with streaming for the best of both worlds. We talked about that. Free local content on demand options online. Now, let's talk about the little thing that's going on in the over-the-ear corners of the world. Now, we're talking about, it's a whole community of people cutting the cord and going to these devices as an alternative, right? So there's a little bit of a caveat to it now. So we talked about the ATSC protocol or standard that the over-the-ear televisions, broadcasters are using as a signal to send to the antennas, right? And you have to get the device that can read that. Now, that's kind of going away, right? I don't know if it's going to go away fully. I don't know if it's going to stay around along with the new one. I'm not 100% sure, right? But I know that there's a next gen TV protocol or standard coming out, which is the ATSC 3.0, right? The next generation broadcast standard offers 4K pictures, HDR, and interactive features. Many cities are already broadcasting in this signal. If you are buying a new TV, check if it's next generation compatible. Now, here is the problem with the next generation compatible devices. Like, for instance, I mentioned HD Home Run. They're not adapting it because there is a copyrighted thing in it where it doesn't let you pause or record live TV, right? And that's kind of being worked out in court now, and there's a bunch of debates about it and blase, blase, blase. I'm not going to go into that, right? So people who are cutting the cards like myself, and people who are really knee deep into this corner or the ethos, they're very upset with this new standard because it doesn't give you the same freedom as the ATSC old standard. This new next generation one is very limiting to what you can do. And I guess the broadcasters are saying this is their content, the people can't be recording it, blah, 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 blah. So that's kind of back and forth going on with that, right? And then the manufacturers are just kind of like sitting on the sidelines to see, okay, how is this going to work out? Where is this gonna settle? And then if they can mass produce the ATSC 3.0, or should they just wait until to see what the standard is gonna really be, right? And that's kind of where I fall into. I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen with this? Because I know that as it is right now, HD Home Run works really well with Plex, no problem. But this new standard kicks in. Will it work with Plex? Won't it work with Plex? How would it work with Plex? How would it make? Because the thing about what I'm realizing, and I have to learn this even in Alex Custom Tech too, dealing with clients. They want it simple. People want it simple. They don't want something complicated. They don't want to have those extra clicks or extra buttons or extra protocols to deal with. They just want to turn it on, to click to a channel, and that's it. And my wife is a perfect example, because I have to try to create things that she likes, and it's frustrating because she just doesn't want to do the extra things. She just wants to turn it on, watch TV, simple. This is kind of why I did the TV guide setup with Plex, because it has that TV guide format where she just go down to the channel that she wants and click it. Cause that's kind of how it used to be back in the day. I mean, in the 90s, really, because before the 90s, it was really just like this thing on your television you would turn and get the channel you want. You have to know the channel within yourself. When you remember what channel it is, what number is for what channel, and you go to that channel. But then the TV guide came out. It had the numbers on it. It was a book first. It was a book first, and then I'm talking about this. Maybe you guys know, maybe you guys don't know. I don't know. The TV guide was a book you would get in the mail, and then it would tell you all the shows that are coming and what channel they'll be on and whatever. And you click the TV to that channel, and then after that, they made a TV guide into this display on the television where you can just go to the. Remember, DirecTV used to have that. You go to the menu, you go to the TV guide setup, and you click on the channel and just go there. That's kind of what Plex does now, and that's good for her, right? So again, will that be there still? Will they let you record live TV? DVR devices is where you can pause live TV. Think about your TiVo when that just came out. That's kind of what that is. You can record your shows instead of using a VCR. If you can tell the age, you can use a TiVo, record your shows when you're not there, come back and watch it. The problem is that with this new ATSC 3.0, those things might go away. Not to mention, this also has something to do with the internet, from my understanding. So you have to plug the box into the internet, even though it's not really getting the channels from the internet, it's authenticating with the internet. So that's another thing too. So what's the point of it if they have to still use the internet? So these are kind of the questions everybody's asking in that community. Like, hey, this is kind of bogus. It's supposed to be free, it's supposed to be easy, it's supposed to be accessible, and it's not. So that's the kind of problem. So I mean, it's not my wheelhouse. I'm doing things to my house right now where I'm dabbing into these things, and I'm telling you what I've learned. But that's what's going on. So again, this is other than the new next gen TV though, the thing works perfectly fine. So you could just get a regular TV, newer TV, maybe has the new protocol in it, but get an antenna and you can go to town, cut the cable, and you can use this, because again, over the air television is well and it's working and it's fine. Okay, it's an option. Okay, so talked about the city that's a lot of cities use. I know that a lot of big cities like New York or Philadelphia has it already up and running. Okay, so over the air television gives you reliable backup for news and sports when the internet goes down, right? Invest once in a good antenna like I'm doing right now and enjoy the free HD channels forever. Combine with over the year with streaming. You can combine it with streaming, like I said, and you can cut the monthly bills ridiculously down, and you can get some good stuff. Again, like there's still stuff like I can't tell you. Okay, for me, I'm really into the old stuff, the old television shows, the old shows. I'm an old soul. I'm not saying there aren't any good shows now. They're just far and few in between, and then I'm not comfortable with all the agenda stuff. So I'm really more comfortable with the old shows, and I'm a simple person, and I'm kind of living under like I want a simple life. If that's what you're into, you don't need all these other things. You don't need all these other streaming devices. Pick one or two, maybe Hulu, Paramount Plus, like I do. Like I told you before, I pick Paramount Plus because I love Star Trek and I love South Park. That's why I picked Paramount Plus. It works out pretty good for my kids and my wife. Now she's kind of getting comfortable with Paramount Plus. She's not 100% happy though. That's why I have to do the antenna. But she'll she's tolerating Paramount Plus because again she's into football and that kind of stuff, and that's what she's into. So you gotta get, depends on what you want, depends on what you can't live without, depends on what you gotta watch. That's what you gotta do, right? And you pick a streaming device, a streaming service that offers the things you like to watch. A lot of people, especially women, no offense, but they seem to like these reality shows or whatever. So Discovery, that's kind of bundled up into, I think, Paramount Plus. You know, you get your Kardashians and all those weird shows. You get that through that app. So you get that and you get those shows. And if that's a must-have, then you do that. That's kind of how you do it. And then you do that. And if you want your local television stuff, like your local news and sports, then you get your antenna. Boom. You got your two things, and you're good to go. So I'm saying, given how things are, this is how you cut the card. Or you shave the card, you know? So something to think about. And I wanted to make sure I go over because I felt like the antenna and the cutting the card first episode just covered the streaming, and I wanted to like, touched on the over-the-ear television, but I wanted to go into more in depth in it because, like I said, it's a whole ecosystem behind that, and you can do more. You can do more research. Like for instance, we talked about the broadcasting towers, right? If you go to these websites, like I told you before, go to the websites, right? And then I forgot what they were, what website they were. Let me see if I can pull up here my notes, and because it tells you where the nearest towers are, right? Tell you where the nearest are in conjunction to your house. You know, antennaweb.org, right? Could tell you how close your house is to the tent, how strong the signal is. tvfool.com will tell you, right? And then see the things you can do for yourself. You own like a DIY project, and then solve. Because again, we new technology came out after the old one we used to have. But that doesn't mean that the old ones don't work, right? They still work, right? Maybe I'm not saying progress is not good, but why are we trying to pay all this money for all these subscriptions? I told you that from the beginning. Like, I'm not into the subscription. So this is a solution you guys could take into consideration and cut down some of the money. All right. So like I always say, always say, stay connected, stay in control, and keep acting on tech.
Alex Hutchinson is the founder of Alex Custom Tech and the voice behind the Act on Tech podcast. With years of hands-on experience in technology, Alex has built a reputation for making tech simple, reliable, and practical for both small businesses and families. At Alex Custom Tech, the focus is on solutions that actually work, from secure business networking and Wi-Fi systems to VoIP phone setups, smart cameras, and complete backup strategies. Alex believes technology should empower people, not frustrate them, and his company was built on the principle that IT means integrity and trust. Clients count on Alex Custom Tech for everything, from computer repair and upgrades to designing entire business networks to protecting data against modern security threats. Whether it's a one-time project or ongoing support, Alex and his team pride themselves on being approachable, dependable, and committed to helping people stay productive. To learn more about Alex Custom Tech, visit alexcustomtech.com, email info@alexcustomtech.com, or call 8556-686-315.
Hey there, Jersey and Eastern PA businesses. Ready to take your IT game to the next level? Get excited because Alex Custom Tech is coming your way. We're your go-to for IT support, bringing integrity and trust to every service. From network upgrades to virtualization and even relocating your IT setup, we've got you covered. Stay tuned as we put the finishing touches on our new site. Alex Custom Tech, helping your business thrive with top-notch IT support right in your backyard.
Welcome to Alex Custom Tech, your trusted partner for computer service and repair since 2010. We provide professional consulting services to clients throughout New Jersey and Pennsylvania, offering everything from computer repair to network design and installation. Our focus is on building efficient, results-driven professional relationships with our clients. We work with you to create customized solutions that fit your specific needs, whether you're an individual or an organization. Our comprehensive IT consulting services are designed to make your technology work more effectively for you. We provide solutions that meet your business's performance and utilization demands, because we understand that when your technology doesn't work, neither do you. We specialize in network design and implementation, taking the pain out of network creation, maintenance, and repair. Our team understands that even minimal downtime can impact your productivity and revenue. That's why we offer 24/7 proactive monitoring and maintenance to strategically optimize and protect your infrastructure. For residential and business clients, we provide affordable and reliable computer repair services, available both on-site and at our location. Our commitment to quality is reflected in our satisfied customers' experiences. We service New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Alex Custom Tech is ready to serve your IT needs. Contact us today at 855-668-6315 or email info@alexcustomtech.com to discover how Alex Custom Tech can help optimize your technology solutions.